Hi, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours. I'm Emily Traxler, VP of Customer Success here at ProLine, and I am super excited to talk to you today about our workflow builder. We're going to dive in. This is where automation happens in ProLine. We talked about triggers 2 weeks ago. If triggers decide when a workflow starts, the workflow builder decides what happens next. So triggers are the when, workflow is the how and the what. So by the end of this session, you'll be able to confidently explain how workflows are structured, how steps execute, and how to troubleshoot common workflow behavior questions. So I'll start with a quick demo, just navigating to the workflow section. What we're going to do is go over to the hamburger menu and then choose workflows, which has replaced campaigns in my CRM. And we have the triggers we went over last week and workflows. I can search workflows from here. Other thing I can see here is triggers. Triggers, workflows, then active workflows. I can create workflows. I can create folders, which is what you see, the speed to lead, sales follow-up, these bold headers. That's a folder. And then within that folder is a certain number of workflows. You can add workflows directly inside of folders. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to see a trash, edit, and add to add a workflow. It'll just jump straight into that folder. But I can also create a workflow from up top here. And then I can organize them by color. Lots of information here. So let's create a workflow. Just say new workflow 1. And then I can choose my workflow type, project, event, or job. And then I'll choose the folder. So maybe I want to do this, my reviews and referrals folder. And I'll create a blank workflow just for example. I could also clone an existing workflow. So if there's one that I like, but I'm going to clone it and change a couple of things, easier to do it that way, or import from library, which just gives you like a couple of different examples of things that you can do. And then I can give this workflow a color. I'm going to go with this navy blue and save. I could have also left a description if that's helpful. Creating the workflow does not start it. You're going to notice that all of the workflows we create are going to start out as inactive. So no jobs can run through this workflow until I decide they can. A trigger must start it, or it must be manually enrolled, and the triggers must be met. Conditions must be met. If you've built a workflow and nothing's happening, the first things you want to check are going to be, is the workflow active? Which would be something you do here. What trigger is it connected to? And then are the trigger conditions for this, well, in this case, job, being met? We're now on the workflow canvas. You can add steps, edit steps, you can go to this editor panel, and then also the workflow top bar here. Let's add a step. I can send text, email, push notification, email notification, AI agent call. This is for tasks and projects. I'm actually, you can create task, clear task, create project, move project, tab project. Lots and lots of options here, especially down in the integration section, which I think is really nice. I'm going to send a push notification. That's how we're going to start. So the workflow, just by the way, is going to run top to bottom. So this is the order that things are going to happen. So in new workflow 1, sending a push notification is my first step. I can add steps. I can also add wait times. This step is inactive. I can activate this step. Everything starts as inactive to prevent things from just going out to your customers before you're ready. So I can make it active here. Send push notification is what we're doing. I can decide I want to change my mind and change it if I need to. When does this run? Immediately. I can add conditions. And then I can choose the contact that's going to receive this push notification. So push notification specifically is when on your phone, on your app, like the notification comes up. And then I'm going to send this to the assignee, the inside sales, production, accounting, other team member. So maybe I want to send this to our production manager each time. And I want to title it for production ready. And then give a description of what you want the notification to say when it comes up on their phone. I'm going to toggle to active and save. If it's not toggled to active, it will not run, even if it's configured. Want to make sure we're clear. I think we get a lot of questions about that. So the next thing that we want to talk about is the wait times. So I can add another step here if I want two things to happen at once. Maybe I want to send a push notification to my production manager, but I also want to send something separately to my sales rep, right? But I'm going to look at the wait times here so I can show you guys how to do that. I can wait before next step. Only run this step if certain conditions are met. Again, an option. And then I can wait before running the step. Maybe I want to wait 1 day before I then contact the homeowner for whatever reason. So I'm going to wait, and then I can add my next step. Wait 1 day until I do the next thing that we need to do, which we could do send text. And maybe I only run this step if the project category has been changed to commercial. Lots of configuration options in our workflows that are very nice. Workflow control steps, they allow you to break the sequential logic. That includes like stopping the workflow, restarting the workflow, starting another workflow, waiting, queue. Workflows will automatically end when the last step is completed. And you do not need to stop it at the end. It's going to just stop automatically at the end. So only add a control step if, like, okay, a looping automation, maybe you want to restart, and that could be like a lead rehash situation. A handoff automation, you want to start another workflow because you handed this off to a different pipeline, for example, or conditional exit. So you want to stop the workflow if certain conditions are met. We close the deal. Let's stop talking to them about signing the quote. This is critical for sales and support to articulate very clearly the difference between conditions and trigger conditions, workflow conditions and trigger conditions. So if you're having issues with this terminology, my team should be able to help you. We should be able to help you decide which step should run, the timelines, what workflows are going at the same time, and make sure you don't have overlapping, or you can have overlapping, but let's just make sure that they make sense, right? Let's see. Oh, goodness. We have questions already. Oh, so the wait, that just is going to decide when the next thing sends. So when I say wait 1 day from the send to push notification, it's going to start that immediately, but then it's going to wait a day before it sends that text. And then I have time during that time frame. If I go into active workflows, I can see this here, but I can also see it live on the jobs page, what workflows are about to run. And I can also choose to stop it there before it sends that next message if needed. I guess one thing I could mention is that if you make a change to a current workflow that's active, so if I'm working in this section, I go to my Speed to Lead website and I want to edit it, whatever changes I make here are not retroactive. So it's not going to resend an email or change the email that was sent. It's just going to work from here on out in the way that I want it to moving forward. Just so that you know, if it's already sent the email, text, and push notification, and you decide to delete all 3 of these things from that first set of your workflow, it's not going to undo what was already done, but it will move forward with new website speed to leads in the way that you have it set up. This is great for, I would say, deactivate. If it's already active, maybe you want to deactivate it to do some testing. Um, and then also our team can help you test and demo accounts and things like that as well. Well, thank you all for being here. I hope that you enjoy workflows as much as I do. We have it switched over in our system over here as well. Running multiple workflows for customers helps keep your automations on track, and it's just a more robust way to stay in contact with your customers and keep everyone informed internally. I'm happy to help anytime. Emily at ProLine.app, and our support team is available via chat. Thanks so much.